Everybody loves supercars, and the first things that come to our mind when we talk about supercars is the speed and the aerodynamic design. Now, the aerodynamic design is not just about achieving maximum speed, it's also about keeping the cars stable on the ground. How do they do that? Well, when a car travels fast at high speeds, what happens is that the speed of the air above the car is much faster than the speed of the air below. Now, this difference in air pressure causes a slight amount of lift, right? Now, this lift is the same principle on which an aircraft flies, but in the case of this car, this lift is not enough to help the car take off, but it is at least enough to make the car unstable. Now, in order to counteract this instability, some cars install spoilers at the back. So the spoiler will actually apply a downward pressure to counteract this upward pressure. It might be hard for you to visualize this, which is why we have a small experiment set up for you over here. In fact, two. The first one is where I have two table tennis balls suspended from the top of the table, and I'm going to shoot a high-speed jet of air between the two. We would imagine that the jet of air would separate the two balls and push them to either sides, but that's not what happens. So what happened over here is that initially the air pressure on all sides was the same. But the moment I passed my jet of air between the two, the pressure on one side dropped because air traveling at a faster speed exerts lesser pressure. And on the other side, the pressure is still the same, right? The atmospheric pressure. So high pressure, low pressure, and the high pressure pushes the ball towards the low pressure area, and the same thing happens on the other ball as well. The high pressure on this side, low pressure on this side, the high pressure pushes the ball this side towards the other one, and they stick to each other. So in the second experiment that we're going to do today, I have a piece of paper stuck on the side of this table, and I'm going to pass a stream of air above the table in such a way that this stream of air never actually directly touches the paper. And yet, we are going to see the paper lift this way. As you can see, the paper is getting lifted this way. Now I'm going to stop the stream of air passing by, and you can see that the paper stopped moving, right? The lift is gone. Now when I start again, the paper starts to move again. Now why does this happen? Well, when this stream of air leaves the table over here, it causes a disturbance in the air on this side. And this disturbance causes the circulation of air to increase. And this circulation of air drops the air pressure. But on this side of the paper, the air pressure is still the same as the atmospheric pressure that was before. So this difference in pressure pushes the paper this way. What we just saw are two simple demonstrations that explain Bernoulli's principle, which states that fast-moving air exerts lower pressure on an object in comparison to static air. The applications of Bernoulli's principles are widespread, aside from explaining flight like we saw earlier in the video. Why don't you find out what they are and let us know in the comments. Until the next time, stay tuned to Skill-Lync.